So how in the world does a YouTube channel about gardening turn into a full-blown business empire? You know, it's not some kind of magic. It's a playbook. And today, we're going to break down the strategy behind Epic Gardening, which is honestly one of the smartest creator businesses out there.
And when I say business, I'm not talking about a little side hustle. No, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar operation. A business that wasn't built on a bunch of venture capital, but on really smart content. This is a total masterclass in turning viewers into loyal customers, and the model is something anyone can learn from.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start at the very beginning, the roots, you could say, how a simple blog grew into a real business. Then we'll get into the YouTube engine that powers the whole thing, from some slick in-video tactics to strategies that go way beyond just the description box. We'll see how that created this massive ecosystem, and most importantly, we'll wrap up with how you can take this whole mindset and apply it to what you're doing.
You know, every huge business has a humble beginning. And for Epic Gardening, it didn't start with some grand business plan. Nope, it all started with a simple blog.
The way it grew was just so logical. It all kicked off back in 2013 with a blog about hydroponics. Kevin Espiritu was really just sharing something he was passionate about. As his blog posts started getting popular, he made a super smart move. He started turning the top performing ones into YouTube videos. And of course, as that YouTube audience got bigger and bigger, making money from affiliate links was just the natural next step.
So the early money-making engine wasn't just one thing. It was this really strategic mix. About half of the income came from affiliate links. You know, recommending products he was already using and loved. The rest was a mix of YouTube's AdSense revenue and some early brand sponsorships. This combo gave him proof that this could work, and maybe even more importantly, the cash flow to start dreaming a lot bigger.
Okay, so once that financial foundation was solid, the strategy really started to evolve. This is the point where the YouTube channel stops being just a channel and it becomes a full-on funnel engine. The whole mindset shifts from let's make some cool videos to let's build a predictable machine for the business.
But let's be really clear here. None of the sales stuff works without trust. It's the key. The source material puts it perfectly, saying he positioned himself as the friend who walks you through every step. By being genuinely helpful, showing up day after day, and just sharing his real process, he built this incredible bond with his audience. They trusted him. And that trust is the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next.
All right, now let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to dive into the specific, really clever tactics Kevin uses right inside his videos to drive engagement and sales. This is what we're calling the in-video playbook.
It really boils down to 3 core steps. First up, natural integration. He actually uses the products in his tutorials, so the sales pitch doesn't feel like a pitch at all. It just feels like a helpful tip. Second, he optimizes his calls to action, or CTAs. The links are always there in the description, and he pins the most important one right at the top of the comments, which is brilliant for anyone watching on their phone. And third, this move is just genius. Contextual ads.
And here's a perfect example of what I mean. Instead of some generic ad, he'll say something like, "For those of you growing basil, you're gonna want to use this LED kit." See? The ad just becomes part of the lesson. It's totally relevant, it's actually helpful, and it converts like crazy because it feels like he's offering a solution, not just interrupting you.
But the strategy doesn't stop with a few clever ads. Oh no. The funnel gets even more sophisticated. We're talking about advanced tactics that go way beyond what you'd typically find in a description box. This is where things get really next level. First, he uses what are called content upgrades. So he'll offer something valuable for free, like a planting checklist, in exchange for your email. He does this by just dropping a simple QR code right in the middle of a video. You get something useful instantly, and he gets a new lead. Second, he builds these playlist funnels, basically curating a series of videos on a specific topic that gently guide you on a journey that often ends with a very relevant product. And the key here is that none of this is guesswork. It is all driven by data. He's constantly running simple but powerful A/B tests on everything. He'll test different calls to action like start growing today versus grab your setup kit just to see what works better. The data tells him what to do, not his assumptions. And that is how you optimize a funnel.
So with this YouTube engine just firing on all cylinders, that success started to fuel something much bigger. This is that incredible moment when a creator really becomes a CEO, using the profits and the audience he's built to create an entire business ecosystem. And man, this is where the scale just becomes mind-boggling. That audience that trusted him on YouTube, they became the customer base for a whole range of businesses. An e-commerce store with his own branded products, book publishing deals, and really smart inventory moves like seasonal bundles. All of it is powered by these sophisticated email funnels, and he's got even bigger plans for things like courses and communities down the road.
And if you need just one move to really understand the massive scale we're talking about, it's this. Epic Gardening didn't just sell other companies' seeds. They went out and acquired a legacy seed company called Botanical Interests. This is classic vertical integration. You're literally buying your supplier to control more of the whole process. This is the move that takes you from being a content creator to a genuine force in the industry.
Okay, wow. So we've seen the whole machine in action, but what does this all mean for you? Let's bring it all home. The big idea is this. Your content is your funnel. It's time to see how you can apply the playbook. So here it is, your action plan, boiled down from the entire Epic Gardening strategy. Stop treating your offers like an afterthought. Integrate them directly into your content. Use things like QR codes to offer freebies and get leads. Always, and I mean always, put relevant contextual links in your description and pin the most important one in the comments. Weave your brand partners into the story you're telling, and eventually start introducing your own products, because they're the most natural extension of the value you're already providing.
If you only take one thing away from this entire breakdown, please let it be this powerful idea from the source material. Your content is your funnel. Let your products and offers flow through it, not around it. That's the fundamental shift in thinking. Your content isn't just content anymore. It's the actual pathway that delivers value to your audience and, in turn, drives your business forward.
And that brings us to the final question, the one I really want you to take away and chew on. When you look at the content you're creating, or maybe the passion you're thinking about sharing with the world, what is the very first offer that your content could naturally support?